What's going on, everybody? It's TheNidien. We got UFC Fight Card 3, finally. It's been a whole month there hasn't been any fights in the UFC, and we're finally starting to pick back up. And we'll get these 5 fights out of the way, get our first gift cards out to the people that deserve it, that have won by points, and then we'll move on to our next set of fights and keep going from there. Whether 1 or 2 people get into it, it's all good. I suggest everybody should just throw some picks down there and just get in, because you never know what's going to happen. This next card, as you can see, after 2 fights, it's almost tied up. We got Doritos in the lead with 12, with ITzApricot just behind him with 10. The gap shortened up quite dramatically after the last fight, and this next fight's worth 10 points, so we never know what's going to happen. I tried to get on UFC Undisputed 3, find a bunch of these guys and get some fights together. Unfortunately, due to people switching weight classes, certain fighters on here not being on the roster as far as that goes, I wasn't able to match any of these guys up properly. So I just threw together, an Anderson Silva versus GSP fight and an Anderson Silva versus John Jones fight, and went from there, and we'll throw some things up as far as we go. In the future, I may, show my character fighting some people while we go through this card. So we'll see what happens. But I wasn't able to get the fighters together properly. So this is what you have. So what we got is I'm going to put the card at the end of the video per usual, so you guys can pause it and go look it up, and then go over to UFC. They got the card right on the front page. You can go take a look at the fighters. I mean, there's a lot of people with the same last names, so you might be thinking of somebody else. So I suggest either way, people go over to UFC and just check out the card real quick. It's right on the main page, and then you can pick from there. You can get into all the stats and all this other stuff. What we got on the top for the main card is Gustafsson versus Silva, and this is going to be a real interesting matchup. I haven't seen a whole lot of Gustafsson's fights, but there's a big hype train behind this kid coming through. A lot of people think he should be fighting for the title real soon, as he's 13-1. But we'll see. He's got to get into some top 5 competition, see how he fares. That hype train could stop cold. We've seen it with many people, and we'll see if Silva's able to do it. This guy's a beast. He's just evil looking, and I always looking forward to this guy fighting, because he's just a masher. When he's on a card, I'm like, all right, here we go. And just, if you watch any of his other fights, or if you're not familiar with him, just go check him out on YouTube real quick. The guy is just vicious looking. He doesn't even have to be bad. He just, intimidation level of his look is like a 12 out of 10. So that's going to be a real interesting matchup now that he's healthy, and to see how he can kind of bring his career back, and see if Gustafsson can keep the hype train rolling. And the next one we got on the list is Stan versus Sakara, and this is one of those matches I'm not real interested in seeing. Stan is, fighting his way up to a contender spot, trying to be warranted. Sakara has never really impressed me. Every fight that I've seen that I can remember is him getting knocked out. He doesn't really have the chin compared to what he used to have, and he's kind of on the downtrend of his career as far as I'm concerned, from the outside looking in. And I'm not sure if he warranted that top spot, but they probably needed somebody to fight Stan, and that's just the way it works. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, and to see if Sakara can throw the upset out there. The next one, Thiago versus, and I know I'm going to say this name wrong, Bahadurazada. Yep, I can almost guarantee that's wrong. But Thiago's, he's had his ups and downs, and he's trying to just keep his career going and keep working towards. So I always like watching the guy fight. He broke into when he knocked Koscheck out, and then ever since then he's kind of had his ups and downs. The other guy I'm not too familiar with, but it is what it is. We'll see. I like watching the fights regardless. The next up we got is Siver versus Nunes, and this is going to be my fight pick of the night here as far as the card goes. I like watching both of these guys. Siver dropped down from 155 to 145, and we're going to see if he can handle the weight cut even better than before and just keep that train going. That's where I thought maybe I was going to be able to get this fight, and on the UFC Undisputed 3 roster, but Siver's in the 155-pound division, Nunes 145, and you're not able to bring him up or down, so that was kind of unfortunate. Next one we got on the list is DeMarcus Johnson versus McGuire. DeMarcus Johnson always brings it. He's fast. He's pulled off a lot of subs that a lot of people didn't get him credit for, so it's always fun watching this kid fight and see where it goes. And then the next few fights we go through, we got Pickett versus Page, not Rampage, just Pickett versus Page. I'm going to say this name wrong too, so I apologize. Abedi versus Head, Diabate versus DeBlas, Kermont versus Sedenblad, and Madadi versus Izquierdo. I have no idea. There's some really names, and I apologize if one of these fighters happens to come across this video and takes a look. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. But one interesting thing is this Diabate versus the Blas fight. I was just over on Sheer.com the other day on break at work, checking some things out, and I seen a thread pop up of a fighter calling the Blas out. You know, the Blas is undefeated. He's making his UFC debut to see if he's the ROC light heavyweight champ, and we'll see how he warrants his transition in the UFC if it comes about real well. But what was interesting was there was a thread, and there was another fighter calling out the Blas, and the Blas was getting into it and wanting to fight him, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got him on this card, and this was just the other day. I'm not sure how long that thread was actually going because I didn't really check dates, probably about a month back. So it was kind of interesting to see that these guys were talking back and forth and really wanting to fight each other, and bam, you know, the Blas is in the UFC, and obviously he's not fighting the guy that was calling him out. But that's what we got for UFC Fight Card 3. This is going to be a shorter video. I don't have much input to weigh in on a lot of these guys. These are all new to me, so it's going to be good to see a new class of heads come in and kind of see where we take it from there. So we got a lot of fights coming up in the next couple weeks. We got this fight here. The week after this is the John Jones versus Rashad Evans fight, which I'm definitely picking up on pay-per-view. We've already got it set up at my buddy's house for a little party, so that's one I'm really, really looking forward to. There's a lot of hype behind that. And then pretty much every other week from then on out, and then we're going to get, you know, boom, we'll finish off this little series of fight cards, get the $20 gift cards out, start up our next one, seamless transition into the next little, we'll call it seasons. We'll just do this as season 1. So that's what I got for you guys today. Get your picks in by Friday at 6 p.m. Good luck, and we'll see where it goes. If you guys want to, if you guys haven't put any picks down there and you're like, man, I'm just going to wait till the next one, just throw some picks down in there. You never know what's going to happen. Get involved and kind of get the motions going to see what's going on. So as always, guys, that's what I got. Keep your heads up. Have a great day. Peace. What's going on, everybody? I just want to let you guys know you can hit up my Tales of Grace's F playthrough over on Tour de Force. If you happen to miss my last Military Monday episode, I got a link up there for you guys as well. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Go over and check me out on Justin TV, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, go over and check out Viso Gamer and VidThrough's pages. I hope to see you guys there soon. Keep your heads up. Have a great day. Peace.